Why is Ahsoka Tano so important? Well, for starters, Ahsoka is one of the most iconic and by far one of the most popular characters in the new Star Wars era. But to really understand how important she is, you need to understand where it all began. And it all began in the animated Clone Wars movie. Ahsoka is introduced as the assigned Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. Yes, the one and only chosen one's Padawan. Now, things don't start off perfect. Anakin and Ahsoka get really on each other's nerves, but after that rocky start, Ahsoka and Anakin create a very close bond, and they end up achieving some remarkable feats. They even encountered some of the most powerful Force sensitives in all of Star Wars, the Overlords, or the Ones. These are immensely powerful beings as the daughter, the father, and the son. The son is the embodiment of the dark side, the father is the balance between the two, and the daughter, who is very important, is the sole representation of the light side. Again, she is very important, and I'll tell you exactly why she's important, but not right now.
You know what you are?
What?
You're difficult.
Now, after this time, things begin to change. The Clone Wars are evolving, and this is a pivotal moment in Ahsoka's journey. There is a terrorist attack. There is a bombing on the Jedi Temple, and this bombing killed people and Jedi alike. And Ahsoka is the person that gets the blame, and the Jedi accuse her of bombing the Jedi Temple. She is absolutely falsely accused. They arrest her. There's a chase scene. Things get very intense and very emotional, and she's put on trial and arrested. And Anakin Skywalker is livid, and to no avail, Anakin Skywalker tires effortlessly to prove her innocence, which he eventually does, but the damage has been done. Not only have the Jedi lost Ahsoka's trust, but her entire image of them has been destroyed. And Ahsoka does the unthinkable, the unimaginable. She leaves the Jedi Order, but not just the code of the Jedi and the Temple, she also abandons Anakin Skywalker and leaves him behind. This is a massive choice that has huge implications, not only to Anakin Skywalker, but of course the entire story of Star Wars, because this creates even more distrust and even more false confidence in Anakin Skywalker and his trust issues with the Jedi Council. Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order was just another contribution to having Anakin fall to the dark side. Now, when Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order, this is probably the era in which her life that we don't really have a lot of data in, but we know that she unites with Bo-Katan and they reclaim Mandalore. We also know that she barely escapes and survives Order 66, and after which she goes around trying to do her little good deeds, but most importantly staying alive, trying to survive. And we only really see her sometime in Star Wars Rebels, the next animated series. But we don't actually know it's Ahsoka. No, she uses an alias, a disguise, and the disguise known as Volcrum. Now, Volcrum is a key player here for the Rebellion because Ahsoka uses Volcrum to gather resources, coordinate with the Rebellion, target Imperials, but most importantly, bringing in rebel cells that eventually construct and create the Rebellion that we see in the original trilogy, which of course this is the same Rebellion that overthrows the Empire. But arguably, the most pivotal moment in Star Wars Rebels for Ahsoka is her confrontation with Darth Vader. Yes, the duel between Ahsoka and Darth Vader. This is probably one of the most intense scenes in all of Star Wars, and maybe even the most important lightsaber duel in the franchise. But what's really important here is what Ahsoka says.
I am no Jedi.
Ahsoka says that she is no Jedi, and this quote is used often. And this quote is not only important to her and where she stands in terms of spirituality, but it's also used in the most recent Ahsoka trailer.
We are no Jedi.
These are very clearly parallels. And funny enough, Ahsoka has always been in the debate about whether she's a Jedi or not, because she did leave the Jedi Order, and depending on where you talk about her and her story, yeah, it's safe to say whether or not she isn't a Jedi, or she is. Now, remember how I said that she is very important? Well, she is, and this is why. Now, Ahsoka makes her very first live-action appearance in The Mandalorian Season 2, but this appearance also comes with a special guest. Yes, an owl-like creature called Morai. Fans like myself have speculated that Morai is very important because it has some very similar features of the other very important character as the daughter. And the daughter is supposed to be the representation of the light side. We believe that Morai is a reincarnation of the daughter and is actually Ahsoka's guardian throughout her entire story and her travels. What's even more compelling is that Ahsoka, before she was named Ahsoka, was actually called Ashla, and Ashla is the actual name of the light side of the Force. But when we talk about Ahsoka's spirituality and where she is along the Jedi Code, I think it's very easy to draw these comparisons with Gandalf the Grey or Gandalf the White. Ahsoka is often seen in gray robes, but most importantly, she now has the white lightsabers. And this is only achieved through the purge of complete darkness in kyber crystals, so only the light remains, which is why her lightsabers are completely white. So you see, white lightsabers, embodiment of the light side. She has Morai following her, the reincarnation of the light side itself. And at the end of Star Wars Rebels, we also see her in white garbs. Perhaps she is going to go down this Jedi path. And to reinforce that, when we see her in The Mandalorian, it seems like she is very much a Jedi, keeping to her code of no attachments, which is why not training Grogu in The Mandalorian is a pretty important part of her story. There are so many aspects of Ahsoka's character that are leading back to one thing, and that is the light side of the Force. Like I said, very important. So just where is her story going? Will she train Sabine to become a Force sensitive? Will she reunite with Luke Skywalker and help him understand what it means to become a Jedi? There are so many questions still unanswered. But knowing everything that Ahsoka is experienced, you can easily conclude so many things. Ahsoka is resilience. Ahsoka is power. Ahsoka is culture. Ahsoka has taken all of her experience and everything that she's learned and fine-tuned them in becoming the best modern-day Jedi that she could possibly be. And not only for herself, maybe even for Luke Skywalker creating the new Jedi Academy, or maybe even for Rey in the newest movies. And as her species, a Togrutan, and because of their spirituality, it's very easy for Ahsoka to live as long as she needs to get all of these things done. But Ahsoka and her series are days away, and we're going to see what's next for her story. So, is Ahsoka important? Yes. She is by far one of the most important characters in the franchise, and I just can't wait to see what happens next on her journey. Thanks so much, Apprentices and Acolytes, for coming into this video. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's kind of a watered down version of what Ahsoka is and everything that she's been through, but there is so much of her story, and I encourage all of you to go ahead and watch the list I've created below in the description box for you all to enjoy her story and get ready for Ahsoka. Make sure you subscribe, fam, because I love talking Star Wars, and all I want to do is teach you guys and just talk about everything that we love. So please, go ahead, join the community, and never forget, fam, may the Force forever serve you. Deuces.